life is worth your best effort. Life is worth intention. That's one of my tattoos, intentional. So I just wanted to share, just literally sitting next to this river, looking at this river while I'm doing this podcast, feeling the cool morning mountain breeze here in Red Lodge, Montana, 15 feet from this amazing, amazing river, watching my daughter play in the river here. I think it's one of the spots that make her come alive. That's a whole nother thing. What makes your family come alive? What makes your spouse come alive? What makes your children come alive? Each child may have, and most likely will have, a different environment that brings them alive and brings the best out of them. How can you create environments that bring the best out of your family? How about your coworkers, your staff? If you're an entrepreneur, if you're running a company, what environment brings the best out of your staff, your employees? Are your employees self-aware enough to know what brings the best out of them? Your team, your colleagues, are they self-aware enough? How can you help facilitate? What questions can you ask to help others identify what makes them come alive? What makes them lose track of time? What makes them feel totally, completely present and in the moment? EQ gangsters, what's up? What's up? Okay, y'all, what makes you come alive? This episode is about what makes you come alive. Where makes you come alive? The power of environment. You may hear some background noise if you're listening to this on the podcast. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, then I'm going to give you a couple views here. Check this out. I am literally, there's my daughter and my little kind of niece in the background there. There's a river about 10 to 15 feet from where I'm sitting right now at a picnic table. This river is absolutely amazing. Red Lodge, Montana, sitting right next to a river. Our campsite, we have an RV. Our campsite is right next to this river. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribing, sharing, reviewing, rating our podcast, our YouTube channel. Thank you for sharing with us your stories of growth and even your areas of frustration along this emotional growth journey. Thank you all so much. Today's episode is about the power of environment. This morning, my daughter and I got up at about 7:15 a.m. She's a teenager, 13 years old, about to be 14. And we just kind of both made a commitment to each other last night. When the other one wakes up, that person gets up the other to go take a dip in this amazing river, mountain river. And, I wasn't sure if we were going to do it. I wasn't sure if she was going to do it. When I woke up, and because we had done it yesterday, we had come down here and both of us had sat in this river. It comes up to maybe a little bit higher than belly button high when you're sitting with your legs out in the river. So it's not deep at all. At least where we're at on this part of the river, it is not deep at all. And so it was amazing, so refreshing, very, very chilly, but I'm going to say something about it here in a second. So, and we're here with our family members. We're here at this campsite in Red Lodge. It's kind of a funny story, which I can maybe share that too. We'll see if I get to that or not. But this morning, 7:15, 7:30, we woke up. I opened up the little RV door separating the master bedroom to the rest of the RV where my daughter was sleeping, and she kind of rolled over and looked at me, like, because obviously she was awake. And so I said, "Amor, you want to jump in there? Get us visitar el río. You want to jump in the river? You want to go visit the river?" And she said, "Yeah." And so I said, all right, let's go. And so we got our stuff ready, came over to the river, and like legit, I got fully submerged in the river, and sat there too. And then I sat there, so I did kind of like got on my belly and immersed myself in the river that way, and then sat in the river, and so did my daughter, and it was, it's funny. She's like, man, is it cold to you? And I said, well, it's actually not. It's not a cold or hot experience. It's a fully alive, fully present, fully in the moment, fully being moment. It's not a temperature. It's not like, oh, it's just cold, it's hot. It's now temperature wise, it's probably very, very cold. But when you're in it, I don't know. There's something about being literally immersed in a river, in a mountain river, that is, I don't know how else to explain it. And even now, I've been out of the river for probably an hour, and I still feel so alive. Having started my day with prayer, read my Bible, and then we jumped in the river. And yeah, what and where makes you come alive? What environment? Also, I was doing my mood meter app this morning once I read my Bible and had gotten up from the RV ops, and just one of the things I put in my mood meter app when I was explaining why I was feeling, I think, blessed this morning. We just got to spend last night with my brother-in-law, Kathy's brother, and wife and children around a campfire, and it was so soul filling. SOUL filling, soul filling. What events, activities, environments are soul filling for you? It just fed my soul. Being here, our campsite is probably 50 yards from this river. To be able to come out here, be next to this river, in the mountains, it's soul filling for me. And honestly, maybe the deal closer for us to get an RV because this is such an amazing experience to be able to experience places like this. And maybe, okay, this is another good point. Maybe you've never had that experience yet, a soul-filling experience. If you're old enough, I'm sure you have had that kind of experience, but think about it. What is it for you? What fills your soul? What feeds your soul? What either environment or activity do you lose track of time in? You lose track of time, you lose track of space, you just lose track. You don't know if it's been 5 minutes, it's been 5 hours. What environment? How about a chair? Is there a particular chair? I know for me, even working, being able to get focused work in, what room of the house, what chair, what shirt, what clothes? Is there a particular pen? Is there a particular notebook? Think about all those different environmental factors that you can control that bring the best out of you. What environment brings the best out of you, makes you come alive, makes you lose track of time, allows you to be incredibly productive? Is there a certain outfit? Is there a certain chair? Is there a certain activity? Is there a certain room of the house? Is there a certain time of day that makes you come alive or brings the best out of you? See if you can replicate that and duplicate that and optimize that and systematize that so that you can consistently perform at your best in those respective environments. PT, what type of physical training allows, brings the best out of you? How about, for me, jujitsu, what time of day? And in jujitsu, it's what group, so time of day obviously is a factor, but is there a group of people? Is there a particular training partner that brings the best out of you? Is it a particular, is it like open mat, or is it morning class, lunch class, evening class? Is it gi? Is it no gi? So think about those kind of factors as well. What foods bring the best out of you? What foods make you feel alive, make you come alive? Is there certain foods or restaurant or drink, beverages? Think about all that stuff. What things bring the best out of you? Because life is worth your best effort. Life is worth your best effort. Life is worth intention. That's one of my tattoos, intentional. So I just wanted to share, just literally sitting next to this river, looking at this river while I'm doing this podcast, feeling the cool morning mountain breeze here in Red Lodge, Montana, 15 feet from this amazing, amazing river, watching my daughter play in the river here. I think it's one of the spots that make her come alive. That's a whole nother thing. What makes your family come alive? What makes your spouse come alive? What makes your children come alive? Each child may have, and most likely will have, a different environment that brings them alive and brings the best out of them. How can you create environments that bring the best out of your family? How about your coworkers, your staff? If you're an entrepreneur, if you're running a company, what environment brings the best out of your staff, your employees? Are your employees self-aware enough to know what brings the best out of them? Your team, your colleagues, are they self-aware enough? How can you help facilitate? What questions can you ask to help others identify what makes them come alive? What makes them lose track of time? What makes them feel totally, completely present and in the moment? I encourage you to try and find those environments. And here's a whole nother ball game, y'all. Move to those locations that bring the best out of you, that make you come alive. This is no exaggeration. We've lived in Colorado now for 2 years, and there has not been a day that goes by when we have been in Colorado that we have not talked about the weather. And looking out where we live in Colorado, we have a view of the Rockies. From almost every room in our house has a view of the Rockies and Pikes Peak. It is stunning. It is exhilarating. It is inspiring. It is breathtaking to look out when I'm doing my whether it's, again, when I'm studying the Bible, whether I'm doing work, whether I'm coaching somebody, and I can just look out at the Rocky Mountains. It recharges me, it refills me, it feeds me, it imbues me with purpose and significance and meaning. It is such, just like this spot here, just like being next to this river here, I encourage you to live in a place, get your finances prepared, use that as motivation and inspiration to get your finances in the right spot, to maybe discipline you so that you can, with the intent of and purpose of moving to a spot that makes you feel alive, that just walking outside makes you come alive. Is at the beach. I know I've got a number of friends that are beach people. They love being next to a beach. Then figure out, set up a game plan, SMART goals. How can you live? What can you do that can put you closer to a beach or in the mountains or in the city? I've got some friends that feel alive in a city environment. And now, in order to even figure this stuff out, if you're maybe not that far along, do some Airbnbs around the country, around your state, around your town. Do some Airbnbs that can put you in different environments, and pay attention to how you feel. This is a great self-awareness exercise to do, to really pay attention to what environments, what atmospheres bring the best out of you, make you come alive, increase and optimize your performance, your thinking. Where do you think well? Where do you do your deepest thinking? Where do you do your most creative thinking, your most reflective thinking? What time of day? What environment? So anyway, I encourage you all, man, this is so important. Life is too short. Life is too short to not figure this out about yourself. And you're too important. The gifts that you're supposed to bring to this world, to make this world a better place, are too important not to think about this stuff. Because your gifts matter. Your gifts are priceless. You are a solution to somebody else's problems. And to figure out, to think about, to ponder, to reflect on what environments optimize your performance and bring the best out of you is a worthwhile exercise, is worthwhile effort and intention to figure that out. What environments bring the best out of you? What environments, this is so awesome. What environments could help you become world class at? What environments could help you become world class at? Not just, oh yeah, man, I feel pretty good in this environment. No, what environment could help you become world class at? That's another great question. What is it about, for example, the Olympic Training Center? What is it about those environments? What colors? That's another good one too. What colors bring the best out of you? Whether it's the paint colors of your room, the paint colors in your room, whether it's the colors of your clothes, the way your clothes feel, what shirt, what shorts, what pants, what shoes bring the best out of you, make you feel alive, make you feel you in your unique way, makes you feel empowered and emboldened and powerful and confident and competent and authentic and integrous and aligned and complete and fulfilled. What routine, what schedule? For me, my identity and who I am with the Lord helps me with all of that. And those questions also apply to, again, environment as well, not just your identity and who you are, and in my opinion, whose you are, but also environment in terms of who God created you to be. What environment helps you to become and be more of who He created you to be, so that, again, you can optimize your performance with whatever that is, whatever you do for a living. And that's another thing too. What is there a certain job that or entrepreneurship opportunity that you could do or pursue that makes you feel alive, that makes you come alive, that you could turn a hobby or passion into purpose and an income and a living? What I'm doing right now, teaching other folks entrepreneurship is what teaching people how to do entrepreneurship is what I used to do, but how to be an emotionally intelligent entrepreneur, how to be an emotionally intelligent leader, how coaching other people, how to become their best version of themselves, how to maximize and optimize themselves. Those are all passions of mine. And so for me, it's it's a whole nother episode, but it is such a blessing to be able to do that and get paid for it, and get paid very well for it, with the gifts that I am finally allowing, that God has given me, that I'm finally allowing to be used to add value to other people, rather than being scared and terrified and self-sabotaging and all those other things. Finally just being in a spot in my life where, again, that's what this whole tattoo is right here. For those of y'all that are watching this on YouTube, if you're not watching on YouTube, it's the tattoo on my left hand that has a verse, 2 Timothy 1:6-7, fan into flame. It's a gift that I have on my hand. It's a present, a blue-green present engulfed in flames. Fan into flame the gift that God has given you. Verse 7, because we have not been given a spirit of timidity or fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. Figure out what environments revive you, make you come alive, and energize you, and empower and inspire you. And if you don't deal with your emotional issues, your family, friends, colleague will have to deal with your emotional issues. Unaddressed emotional issues do not get better over time. They actually compound. Emotionally healthy people help heal other people emotionally. For those of y'all that would like to become part of our community and join our membership group to grow your emotional health and emotional intelligence in community, check out eqgangster.com/mafia. eqgangster.com/mafia to become part of the EQ Mafia so we can all get healthier emotionally together.